Hello, my fellow FNAF fans, and welcome to the 8th anniversary of Five Nights at Freddy's! Yes, my friends, it is officially FNAF's 8th birthday. As many of you guys know, FNAF is a huge part of my life, and I'm greatly honored that I am here to witness Five Nights at Freddy's 8th birthday, and it's insane to me how long this game is going on. I mean, truly the series has evolved. We went from static cameras and the most important lore being the words "It's me" to soul metal, living dead zombies, a giant tentacled mess, mind possession, books, spin-offs, and literally even free roam games. It's been extremely fun to witness the evolution of FNAF over the years, whether I like it or not, and it's been an absolute blast of a ride to theorize and try to make sense of everything. You have timelines ranging from BB5th to Stitchline to all of the books in the games and so on and so on. While I disagree strongly with these theories, I could not be happier to be in this community of a giant melting pot of loving everything FNAF related. However, what about the simpler things than the crazy theories and intense timeline piecing together? What if we go back to the roots of FNAF that makes us love so much? The story. There are so many amazing story points in the series that it is impossible to find objectively the best one. So today, I decided to compile all of my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's moments of the series in one video. Now before I start, I have to go over the 3 rules of criteria for this video. The first being that the events have to take place in the games, so no novels or Fazbear's Frights or even Tales of the Pizzaplex. The events in this list have to take place on screen. The second criteria is that it has to be a cutscene. Now indeed, the cutscene can be included from a minigame, but the minigame cannot be the only thing. In order for the minigame to make this list, it has to include a cutscene, or at least an event that you cannot control with the minigame. And the last criteria is that these events have to be truly canon to the timeline. Therefore, no comic endings, Obscurity Breach, or even Princess Quest endings, since these things are either questionably canon or not canon, or at all to the series. But anyways, got all that? Good! Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's hop right into the top 10 best scenes of Five Nights at Freddy's history. Charlie's death. One of the saddest deaths in any of the FNAF series is the death of Henry's daughter, Charlie Emily. The fact that she is Bite Victim's best friend and that her death was because she was left outside for too long and therefore was murdered by William. Her possession of the puppet just hits hard as well, since now that the streaming tear tracks have infested the mask, and it's a constant reminder of who is possessing it at all times. The rain, the murder, and what looks like strangulation from William makes this scene definitely one of the best in the entire series, which is why it earns 10th place. Happiest day. Now yes, I know I have made some stupid claims in the past for questioning this cutscene canonicity, specifically because the circumstances for this to happen are just astronomically hard at this point. Honestly, it's one of the most satisfying scenes in all of FNAF. The fact that, after so much pain, so much agony, and so much anger from the children for however long they were living inside of the animatronics, are finally getting put to rest once and for all. Now yes, I know some hardcore FNAF theorists are going to argue that there's more to this scene than that, but when this cutscene was first released back in FNAF 3, it truly was the thing to end the story in a beautiful way, which is why it earns 9th place. Cassidy twitching into darkness. What does this scene mean? What does it imply? Why is it happening? If these questions are going through your brain whenever you see this scene, you truly are not alone. It's one of the most confusing, yet one of the most sad scenes in all of FNAF, that Cassidy, being one of the most angry spirits in all of FNAF, is either failing to give up tormenting the one who killed her, or decides to move on, unsatisfyingly giving us what we don't want for Cassidy with a very underwhelming scene. However, this unsatisfying cutscene is what makes it hit so hard, therefore giving it 8th place. Number 7. FNAF 4 Final Cutscene. This placement, as I quote, is indeed the saddest cutscene in all of FNAF. Maybe not the best, but definitely the most sad. It gives us the final look into the extremely depressing life of Bite Victim as he finally passes away from being bitten by Fredbear. The lines coming from Fredbear / Charlie / whoever is talking is just somber and bittersweet. There's not much to say about this scene, as it is truly one of the most beautiful and touching moments in all of FNAF. Therefore, it earns a nice and comfortable 7th place.
There's no doubting what you've achieved on a technical level. These are clearly state-of-the-art.
Number 6. Sister Location Starting Cutscene. Now, I know a lot of you guys have absolutely no clue why this cutscene is so high. And yes, I totally understand why you think that. But this cutscene holds a special place in my heart for one very specific and very important reason. It was the confirmation of the name of Purple Guy. No longer did we have to call him Purple Guy, but it was truly the confirmation that this is indeed William Afton, and we can call him that from this point onwards. When this reveal first happened, my mind was absolutely blown. I also remember how MatPat reacted to this scene, and it rolls through my head every once in a while as it is such a funny reaction. Therefore, this scene, probably the most unexpected one on this list, gets itself 6th place. Number 5. William Afton's reveal in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Now, the spot on this list is specifically the cutscene of the reveal of William Afton, since the cutscene at the ending of the boss fight is infamously known for being underwhelming. However, the reveal specifically was 2 years in waiting after the last of William Afton we knew was FNAF VR and his escape. It was a huge wait, and honestly, the wait was totally worth it. Seeing him come out of the charging station was presented in an absolutely phenomenal way, and it's crazy to me how little we actually know about how this came to be. Because of this, this spot gets 5th place. Number 4. Michael Afton slowly decaying from Ennard. While these Nights of Sister Location Custom Night themselves are not canon, we know that these cutscenes where Michael is slowly decaying from Ennard being trapped inside his body most certainly are. And boy oh boy are they creepy as hell. Every time you encounter Michael after the first 2, he becomes more and more like a walking zombie, and more neighbors notice that he is not doing very well. As time goes along, he becomes literally a purple corpse and spits out the entire thing. When I first saw these cutscenes, my jaw dropped to the floor. It was so insane and so crazy at the same time, and I could not believe what I was watching. However, when we get to the moment where Michael puked up Ennard, I had never been so surprised by anything in FNAF up to that point, other than maybe the next placement. Therefore, these insane cutscenes of Michael decaying into Ennard sit at 4th place.
You won't die. 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 You won't die.
Number 3. The Bite of 83. When the first Five Nights at Freddy's game came out, there was an infamous bite called the Bite of 87. Everyone wanted to know more about that after the first game, and 3 games later, we still didn't get it. Why? Because this is not the Bite of 87. It is, indeed, the Bite of 83. Granted, it was indeed retconned, but still, this scene of the Bite of 83 is absolutely shocking. The older brother of the crying child, being the ruthless and crazy brother he is, decides to prank his little brother by putting him in the mouth of Golden Fredbear, in which he gets killed. When I first saw this cutscene, I could not believe my eyes at what I was watching. I basically reacted like how Markiplier reacted.
Was that the Bite of 87?
Still though, even though this is the Bite of 83 and not the Bite of 87, it still is absolutely crazy enough to earn it 3rd place.
Father, it's me, Michael. I did it. I found it. It was right where you said it would be.
Number 2. Father, it's me, Michael, cutscene at the end of Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location. I did it. I found it. It was right there when I needed it. The second place and probably the creepiest cutscene of all time in the entire series goes to the Golden Freddy cutscene in Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. The voice, the atmosphere, the reveal, and the dialogue are absolutely priceless. Story-wise, it is one of the craziest things in the entire series, that William has just been released from Freddy Fazbear's, and is finally free to roam the building of FNAF 3. It is absolutely a Spain, especially the "I'm going to come find you" part. Because of how perfectly timed and how amazing the thing is to watch and pan out, this cutscene gets second place. Now before I get to the number one cutscene, as if you didn't know it already, here are some of the honorable mentions that just barely missed this list.
The show will begin momentarily. Everyone, please stay in your seats.
And lastly, the cutscene you've all been waiting for and all knew was going to be on here. The number one spot on our list of the top 10 best moments in FNAF is...
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth. If you still even remember that name.
If any of you guys expected anything else, I have no clue why. Let me let you know that for my 9th grade drama class, I literally memorized this monologue for my final. Literally everything about this ending is amazing. The dialogue, the setting, the music, the apocalyptic feeling, the feeling to end things once and for all, even though it wasn't, and of course, ending the murderer himself, William Afton. Clearly this wasn't the end, but what if it was? Would anyone have been sad that this is the final thing we ever saw of the series? It literally has the best line in all of FNAF history.
Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, friend.
That voice line gives me chills every time I hear it, and it gives it a sense of completion. For once and for all, things are finally over. I absolutely love this monologue, and I know you do too.
No one was there to lift you up into their arms, the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time to rest, for you, and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends, for all of us, in communication.
But anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'm so happy that we are 8 years into the series and many more to go. If anyone has had as much fun with this series as I have, leave a comment down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, peace out.